couple of people that just showed up, so this would be a good time to kick things off. Just want to thank Alan Hartley from M2M for being with us on this webinar to find out what this M2M device can really do, the necessity of it, the beauty of it, the speed of it, and why it's really taken off like wildfire. Everybody who's used it so far has been extremely pleased and extremely device. The cost is right, and the reliability seems to be perfect. One fit so far, so really pleased. So, Alan, why don't you turn it over to you and let's find out as much about this device as we possibly can. So, with it, please welcome Alan Hartley from M2M.
Yeah, I've been an alarm dealer for 35 years, and I discovered this device about 2 years ago and started using it in my own business. In fact, I've never seen a device that was so easy to install, so quick to be up and running, especially to program the app to give customers remote control without having to go onto the internet and set up accounts and go back and forth, and where I could do it in under 5 minutes. It was just to me. I remember getting my first delivery, my radio. I ordered one to try, like most of you. We want to try it out before we sell it to somebody. And I took it out of the package, and I thought, oh great, they sent me the manual radio so I could read up on it. I also had a little envelope, and here's the radio. I initially laughed at the product, thought it was kind of thought there was no way something so tiny was going to do the job of one of these big radios that we've been using in the past. That's the perfect application. My own house, I've never been able to get a radio to work out of my basement. Well, about 30 seconds, the radio got full signal, and it's been running ever since, and it hasn't missed a beat. So that we'll just go through the slides here real quick and talk a little bit more about the radio. On dial capture interface, which means you, the installer, you don't have to do anything different than what you've been doing for the last 20 years. You just program your panel just like a dialer. You put in a phone number, you put in your account number, and you panel its contact ID with communication. That's that simple. Just make sure that your zeros are programmed in hex on DSC. Of course, Demco and Logix, they just put in your zeros. But other than that, you literally have 6 wires to hook up to your panel. There's, of course, your positive, negative power. There's your tip and ring. Your wire goes to the key switch, programmable key switch zone. And your wire just goes to your arm status output. That's for connecting it. The radio comes pre-configured. It's all ready to go to your central station. I'll tell you, Dynamark's been doing a great job of testing and working with these radios. It's been unbelievable, the support we've been getting through working with Dynamark. This company really put this radio through its testing before they decided to let their dealers have a crack at it. And I'll tell you what, this company, this radio works from your client's directly into the monitoring station. We get incredibly fast transfer speeds. We get alarms station within seconds. We're going through a clearinghouse like some of the other radio companies do, and that goes directly into the central station software. So basically, you've got a direct path. This radio also checks in with the system every 10 minutes to ensure integrity. So if a radio goes down, you'll get a 999 signal, and to go and check radio, maybe move the antenna or whatever for a better signal. That's usually all it takes. We have very few failures in the radios. The is, of course, is that the installers just need to know how to program panels, which I assume all of you guys do, because you're all professionals. The advantage. radio is simply the cost of monitoring. You can save $3 or $4 for every radio account you have from the competition, and you put in your pocket. Multiply that over 100 accounts and 1,000 accounts, and you start to see real profit to your business. This radio, can you go back there one? This is a radio that has the network redundancy. It's got the AT&T and T-Mobile system built into it. What that means is if AT&T goes down, it'll automatically switch over and call out on T-Mobile's circuit. The installation's fast and easy. The capture we've talked about. Now, the active smartphone app, you literally go onto your app or your Android Play Store. You can download our control, the letter and control. The app automatically syncs to the radio. You don't have to register the app. You don't have to register your radio. You do not have to activate your radio. It all comes pre-configured. You know the prompts that come with the app, and you'll be up and running in a few minutes. The trick to setting up the app is that the first round you have to sync your app to panel. While you're programming your app, arm your panel up fully, and then you'll put a code and hit continue, and it'll tell you to arm and disarm your app, send an open and close signal. If you do that, it'll sync up within 30 seconds. And it's effective, as all of you know, that you can get the radios for all the price of what you're paying for other radios out there in the market through distribution. Will the next slide. Next slide now. Okay, talked about the app. Now, the remote arm disarm works with a key switch. On a DSC panel, you'd program zone, let's say zone 8, you want as a key switch, so you'd program it as a 22, military key switch. This works just like a normally open circuit. So when the command comes from the app, it sends a signal to the radio. It just sends a signal into that zone 8 in this case, and will actually turn the alarm on through that normal programming. You can go to our control software and put your logo on the back of this app. So every time you're a customer, go arm and disarm their system, they'll see your logo. Now, at the bottom of the app, you'll see that there's an events tab. You just touch that, and it will give you a 1-year back log of all the events that have happened and come through the central station through the radio. Great for people who want to have open closing reports, and they can real time what's happening with their hit. And you don't have to print any more reports anymore. I don't think we do that anymore very much, is print and mail reports once a month, but you don't have to do it nowadays. There's opt for notifications in this app. You can hit the settings and you can configure it to send an email or a text message when the panel's on and off. It's all customizable, whatever way your customer is looking, what they're looking to do. You can label the partition zones and users. You can add a second system on this app, which is convenient if you have a customer that has a system in his business and one at home. Label it home and business, and they can control 2 different systems with the same app. Pretty little app, and very easy to configure and get it up and running. So your revenue profits, I mean, that's what we're all in the business for. We want to start making extra money. You've got a reduced initial investment on your radio. It's cheaper than anything you can get out there. When the other companies have their radios on sale, this is usually cheaper.
Just so everybody knows, everybody's probably aware, but the price of the radio is only $69.95. So that's right. It's very, very cost effective and half the price of everybody else that's out there.
price, and at the price of the monitoring, why bother putting in a landline, I say. The reduced installation efforts, what that means is you're going to have your guys in and out of there. Once you've done one or two of these things, you're going to have your guys in and out of there. It takes longer to talk to the customer and do the power thing than it does to put the radio in. It takes seconds to install it and a couple minutes to program your panel. I can do it in about 3 minutes, get a radio installed and programmed on a panel. You're improving your profitability, but at the same time, you're giving your customer the option to have remote to arm disarm. They've surveys of people that have been using interactive services for over 90 days and found out that the feature that most people use after 90 days is the arm disarm, remote arm disarm. Switching on lights and turning on coffee pots and stuff is something that people grow tired of, but the disarm is something that they stick with, and it's a feature that most people are looking for nowadays. And the cool thing is you can offer it, and it's all included in the same fee and the low service fee that you get from Dynamark. Now, Dynamark's got one of the best fees available for radio monitoring, and I know you guys will talk to them about that. And you're going to see that it's probably half or even more than most other radio companies. In fact, I've been pulling out, what's that?
It's a $5 flat fee total for digital and the radio side combined. All it is $5 total. Beat that price. Price of the real is right to the service. You guys really take advantage of this, and the bottom line, that's what it's all about. Profit.
And think about that. That's incredible because it costs more than that to monitor the radio with some of these other companies. Just the radio alone is, $7, $8 or $6.95 at one company, I know for sure. Plus my monitoring fee, so you're saving a lot of money and you're putting that in your pocket. And remember how that adds up over time when you get more customers getting involved with the radios. The nice part is that you can charge a little more for your account because you're offering interactive services of remote arm disarm. And, you can sell to new and existing accounts. I've got a lot of, in fact, I've probably got about 75% of my customers now on radios because of this product. I can offer them an extra feature that they're looking for, and they're paying me more per month. So it's something that you can build your business, become healthier as far as retained income. And I tell you, once you get you start getting the hang of this thing, it's just amazing that you can the kind of service you can give, the price that Dynamark's offering to you. It's unbelievable in this industry. In 37 years, I've seen nothing really like this. Go ahead. So specifications on the unit, you've got your dual band ARM processor. Now, some of the most important things for installers here, we'll just go over the important ones. It's got the dial capture interface, contact ID. It does not support any other to date, okay? I know they are working on a new radio that will support possibly SIA as well. There's digital inputs. That's your status. What that looks for is your armed status of the panel. That's when you launch your app, the app knows whether the panel's armed or disarmed. The key switch output is what actually switches the key switch when you give it the command from the app. This has got a built-in world SIM chip, so these radios work anywhere in the world. We can just program them to the whatever provider that they have in the country. This is important. The supply voltage is 10 to 17 volts DC. Some of the self-contained are 9-volt panels. If you want them to work on them, you need to put in a power supply. Another beautiful thing is that we've got really, really low power consumption on this radio. You can power it off your panel without a problem. And it used to be a concern with the radios with how much power it would draw. You had to put in a separate transformer and a battery. You don't have to do any of that with this radio. Zero configuration. It's all pre-programmed. It's pre-activated. It's pre-configured to your station, and it's pre-configured to capture the events off tip and ring. So basically, no programming on the radio. The only programming you have to do is your panel. You have to make sure that the dialer is turned on, of course. Yes, you've got touch tone dialing. That's contact ID. You have to enter a telephone number in the phone number, and not even really a phone number, just some numbers so that it comes off hook. Enter digit account number in the panel, and that's it. You're ready to go. I mean, anybody that knows programming in their panel knows that this is just something we always do. We've always done, and there's change to what you've been doing. Just keep doing what you've been doing, and just install the radio.
Just important thing to mention, Alan, is this is a standalone phone, not with an existing phone line connected to the panel. That would be bad. It would burn up the radio. So voltage coming out of the phone line, it can't be there. You don't hook it up with the phone line. That like the 52 volts coming off the phone line. There is the tech support and manual configuration site. It's the name of the radio, mini01-4g.com. We just named it the same as the radio, so it'd be easy to remember. And you'll see your configuration, your compatibility lists, and if anybody wants to send us comments or suggestions to put onto this site to make it easier for installers, I'm open to it. It's a work in progress. We're always adding to it and trying to make it easy for you guys. We have it working with smartphones and tablets, so you can actually just go right on there on the site and pull up your programming and just double check everything. Believe me, once you've done a couple of them, you don't really need any program guides. It's very, very simple. Just remember, it needs a pro key switch zone on its output, and you have to have open and closing reports turned on for remote arm disarming. The orange wire goes to the key switch, white wire goes to status. The app is downloaded onto your client's phone, and like I say, once you launch it, you just follow the prompts, and you're going to sit with your panel, and you're out of there. Simple. Next slide. That this is a better radio for you is that it has the network redundancy. It has a backup cellular network working for you. The easy to install, no configurations. It's quick. Dollar time is going to be short on site, so it's affordable. It supports most alarm panels. Dial capture supports contact ID. And if you have any questions, there is a compatibility list on the website. And if you want, you can call me at tech support. My number's on that website. If you're having any issues, I can help you work through them. And the features for new installations here are interactive right now on this radio is the remote arm disarm. There may be a radio coming later with more outputs you can activate off the app. This is a perfect answer to the 2G and phone line efforts. I don't know about you guys, but up here in Denver, we're seeing phone lines being cut constantly by birds. With one the other day, a liquor store, somebody had knowledge of this place. They broke a corner, got around the corner. There's a 10-foot room where the panel is.
Fortunately, we had a motor under the panel. At the time we got across the room and cut the wires to the panel, we already had the alarm at the central station. So very quick. And with people cutting phone lines and stuff now, I can't imagine entering anything on a dialer anymore. Next slide, please. No questions can help. Anybody got any questions? You can type in, or we can do that.
Well, you could unmute.
Anyone here?
And comments for attendees that are on the call that give some input as your message with the radio. That would be helpful as well. Please feel free to jump in.
And everyone is now unmuted, so if you have questions, you'll ask.
How easy it is? It's that easy.
Jonathan, Lakeview Alarms here in Arkansas. Am I?
Yeah. Hey, John, how are you?
All right. Question. Most of what we install residentially is the all-in-one panels. You know, we use a Lynx, but there's folks that use the Siemens or Colsys or whatever. I'm curious on the easiest way to approach those panels with this. It obviously sounds like it's going to take a secondary power supply, but what do you do about things battery backup? We're talking about a relatively in power supply, so we have battery backup on the communications and such. And I mean, is there an efficient way to approach that?
What I've done a couple of gigs, for example, that older ones that have the dialers built in.
Right.
I put them behind the wall, like the DC Impasas, for example. Those are 12 volts, and you can go ahead and cut a little hole behind the keypad in the wall and just mount the radio and the antenna in the wall, and hooks up to power and can ring just like a regular panel on the Impasa. The 2 gig work the same way. But yeah, when you have the 9-volt panels, you're running into issues where you've got to, a little electronics power supply or something like that. And
right. Okay. What the arm and disarm on those all-in-ones? Most of those, or again, the we use don't have key switch zones or outputs, at least that I'm aware of. Is that
and this is where it becomes more of a communicator rather than the remote disarm feature. It's right. It gets to be a little difficult. The Impasa, you can do remote disarming, arm disarming on the DSC products. Demco, I think you have a pin 17 status output on a.
I don't believe
on
so.
A Lynx. No, I don't think you do. So yeah, I mean, these are just issues that you have to work through. And
so it's still a communicator functionally. We just peripheral. Okay.
Just have the remote.
Okay. Thank you.
The question we often get is the Verizon. We do not have a Verizon chip to date on this, so that's something that does come up once in a while. And they're working on it.
And also, any other questions in the comments?
Well, here again, I hate to keep jumping in. I did have one question, just clarification. You mentioned that it checks in every 10 minutes. Now, is that checking status, or is that checking tower connectivity, or what is that 10-minute check?
That's tower connectivity. That's going to send you, okay, what does it? The system pulls the unit every 10 minutes, and, to connectivity. If it doesn't get a good signal from your radio, you're going to get a 999 signal on your report just from your station. And
monitoring station is actually pinging the transceiver every 10 minutes.
That's right.
Wow.
Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's almost as good cellular right there.
Yeah.
In fact, it's probably a little better, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
It's a secure device. It's funny when you, like some of the guys from Dynamark will tell you this, when you meet the owners and some of the technicians that are involved in developing this unit, it's kind of great because these didn't come from the alarm industry initially, so they're thinking outside of the box. And this is, I think, one of the reasons why this product is so effective and small and sort of not used to what we're used to. The crazy part about this, if you have a problem, the head software engineer gets on the line, gets into your radio, your signals, and they're totally 100% involved in support to help make sure that every radio you guys get is performing to top efficiency. So, you don't have to worry about the support. In fact, I think the support here is probably better than anything I've experienced from the company itself. When we have, anything that comes up, it gets dealt with right away. You don't have to worry about that.
Do you think in the future, with other radios that they come out with, that they'll do the downloading, into the panel?
They got their ears filled at the ISC convention in New York about that. Here's what I'll give you a little history of what's going on there. The company has been trying to make an interface module for existing radio. And their concept was that they were going to install a little device in between the radio and the panel that would allow remote programming. Because it's a universal device, they wanted to make this the programming universal as well, and ran into a few problems. So it seemed like every time they got a solution, it created new problems, and we all know how that works in this industry. What's happening now is they're redeveloping a new, a second generation radio, and it will, from what I understand, it's going to have remote upload-download capability, and it's going to have a couple of extra outputs that you'll be able to activate off the app. Another solution that they're making right now, we saw a sample of it at New York this year. They do have a panel. It's its own panel that will take 433 megahertz wireless, DSC wireless, and actually hook a DSC keypad to it. It is designed to work without a keypad. It has the own partitions, and this is the development of this is actually getting to the beta stage now. And I'm not sure if that one has remote upload download. I'll have to check on that. I'm sure it will. You're going to pitch you over here. Products are on the way.
Alan, we have another question that was typed in, Alan, from Bowles. Is there a version coming that can be a backup to a phone line? So I guess he wants to know if you can have.
That's a great question. I'm going to pass that on to the engineers, that's maybe something that they should let. I can't see how that would be such a hard thing to do. It's on what they're developing on that next radio, and in fact, they may be developing that into the next generation because it has come up. I'll send that on to the engineers to consider that and see if they can come up with that as well.
Yeah, Jeff typed in, thanks. Anything else? Any comments?
Hey, Mike, it's Hank. Let me ask you guys a question. If you do a landline and it's probably be through a broadband, just copper is going away. Would affect the voltage if you were able to do a secondary for the radio. So if it's not coming through copper and it's coming through voice over IP, would that affect how much voltage comes out of that?
But it also, like if you use Comcast or some of these larger cable companies, they put voltage on their lines. So, you know, of your Vonages and stuff, they don't have it. So it becomes
okay.
Case. I don't see the point in putting a Vonage voice over IP line when you've got a radio that's going to give you more reliable transmission for cheaper.
Yeah, you know, I don't either.
The thing is, yeah, this is, nowadays, and all the dealers know that people don't have phone lines in their houses anymore. I mean, this is just everybody uses their cell phones now. So, I mean, you know, for the dealers on the line, all I can say is if you haven't tried a radio yet, give Mark a call. Get 2 radios. Put one in your house. Get a hold of a customer that's a really good customer, one of your buddies. You know, we all put in systems for buddies, and test out in 2 locations. And you're going to see that this thing is just unbelievable. It's the fastest transmission I've seen in years. It's been reliable. In fact, I haven't had any fail to communicate. When AT&T was working on a tower in Denver here, and we had a couple of disconnects on the radios, but they came back up and haven't any problems since. So, transition time when AT&T is changing their towers around, you make some 999 signals, but they do go away.
Yes, not had any failures. Had nothing but extremely pleased customers who never tried them are thrilled with it. They work, and literally, the time the activation happens till it hits our software, it's between 5 seconds. So it's unbelievably fast.
John asked a question: how proprietary is this to Dynamark, and portable is it to other centers? Well, I don't know why you'd want to switch from Dynamark. That's a pretty fantastic station right there. Those people are so approachable. But there are many stations around the country now. Well, not many. Probably maybe not even a handful. Probably 8 or 9 stations that are working with this radio at this point in time. If you make the decision that you want to move a radio from Dynamark to another station, Dynamark can release the serial number and port it to another station. But you have to call in and get them to release that serial number because it is assigned to their receiver, and it would need to be assigned to a different receiver. So yeah, you can move it, but you need to, in the middle of the night, you've got to be up front, make sure your bill's paid to Dynamark, and make sure that and they're going to release the radio for you. Not a problem.
Any other questions for Alan? We still have him on the phone. Al says he's put him in himself, and 7 seconds was the time on his. That was an input from Kyle.
Yeah.
So fast.
You said it's incredible about this product to me is that I've been installing them probably for 1.5 years. I've never ever had one failure in a radio, none. And when you're out doing the work and go to customer sites and things, nothing more frustrating when you get a bad out of the box unit. And I've just never had that happen, and I know that all of us have been there. And it's nothing but time consuming and costs us money when that happens to replace a unit, especially if you don't have a second one in your truck. So this has not been the case with the M2M. Any other questions there, guys?
That's easy.
Also, just make sure you keep them away from receivers. Does that problem, Alan, as far as interference?
It's the first I've heard of it, Kyle. I'd like to know more about your experience on that one. Might go off the website. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I put in a couple of them, and I put them in Honeywell, and you know how the receivers mount in the panel, some of them, and that's where I mounted the device, and it blows the thing up. I mean, it's red, so it's not getting any transmission. It's going to miss check-ins on the transmitters. So I had to move it outside of the can. I mean, away from. I mean, probably in another room or some. I mean, there's some of our technicians has actually mounted them on the other side of the garage wall by the NID. Just keep it away from those receivers.
Wait a minute, had a solid red light?
Yeah.
It's a strong signal.
No. I don't on your device, on Honeywell devices or a Demco's or something like that. It'll cause major interference on that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I guess it would make sense if you're putting your antenna in between the other two.
Yep. And of course, Honeywell makes the unit so that you can put the receiver right in the panel, and then that causes problem mounting close. Yep.
You're putting the antenna on the side of the can?
I tried everywhere. I tried because I know you have I don't know, it's about 2 foot of wire that comes with the unit. Put it outside the can, anywhere around it. I had to actually move out of the room. It was in a closet, and 2 or 3 of them were in closets, and I had to move it out because the receiver was in the same location.
I'll do some tests on that. That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's just with it. I mean, I've only had it with Honeywell, but it
kind of makes sense when you think about you got a dual antenna and you're sticking another antenna right between it. It does make some sense.
Yeah, and we had technicians actually have to run it. We popped out. I mean, you know where it comes into the house in the NID. Well, he just to the other side, mounted it by the electrical box or something like that.
Yeah, I've taken a Cat 5 and run my radio to. I ran one into an attic one time. Where I couldn't. It was just a better signal.
You can
just rewire the whole thing with a Cat 5. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
DSC, if you have a Cat 5 running to the keypad, you can just cut a hole in the wall behind the keypad, put the radio and the antenna in the wall, and hook it right into the key switch zone in the keypad. Program a key switch zone. You got power, and all you need is 2 wires to get back to your panel.
Yep. I haven't been on self-contained units yet. I don't know how interference is on that because it doesn't have any type of any type of identifier.
What's that?
Any on the self-contained units.
Right. Well, what was the question again?
No, the question. I was just saying I've never had I've never used a self-contained unit before.
Yeah,
with the unit. With the unit.
Yeah, just go.
Well, it works good. Thanks.
Thanks for your input, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that. There, by the way, guys, 10-foot long antenna, but a 10-foot cable that for 3 Dynamark as well. So the unit comes with about a 2 to 3-foot antenna. But get a 10-foot antenna if you want to locate that just the antenna away from the panel, and that might be a solution for this problem as well. I'm sure 10 feet might be something that would work.
Any other feedback, input, or questions? Anything you want to say to wrap things up?
Just ask the guys to just try the units. If you haven't already tried them, get on a couple and try them. Dustin there to help you through your first couple of installs. I'm here. We've got a website to help you. try it and see, prove it to yourself that this is the commuter of the future for a lot of applicants out there. Just the Dynamark, I got to tell you, these guys are giving it to you for one of the best prices in the country. It's $4 a month for monitoring plus radio and remote. It doesn't get much better than that. And they're sending those units through to you at cost price. So you guys are you have a deal on the purchase on the front end. You've got a heck of a deal to make money on the back end, and you've got a product that's got speed and support. And you'll say for yourself. I look forward to meeting all you guys in the field someday as we travel around. Thanks for joining our call today.
Alan, thank you so much. We appreciate your input and the device that you brought to our attention. It actually does exactly what you said it would do. It's reliable, it's fast, it's efficient, and very, very inexpensive all the way around. It's a home run. So thanks to everybody for attending. And if we have any questions, you can always call me, and please give it a try. Call the order desk, call me. I'll be more than happy to help you out. You'll get one or two in your hands, try them out, and I know you will not be disappointed. So thanks, everybody, for attending, and just keep on what you're doing, and we're here for you whenever you need us. A great Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Let's kick the New Year off right. Okay.